For today's Solve and Share, we are on the first page of Lesson 12-1. So, the Solve and Share states, according to a survey, 7 out of 10 pet owners have a dog. Use a drawing to show this relationship. So, if we have 10 people in our group, we can simply draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. 7 out of those 10 people have a dog. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are all of our dog owners. What you're going to see as we continue with this lesson is that there are other ways to write this instead of just drawing a picture. We know if there are 10 parts to our group, we put 10 in the denominator of a fraction. If 7 out of those 10 have dogs, we can put 7 in the numerator and understand that 7/10 of our group, or 7 out of 10 of our group, have a pet dog. We can turn that into a decimal, and here's how we would do that. We would start by putting a decimal point. Because the whole group does not all have dogs, we're going to put a 0 where our whole numbers belong. But 7/10 of the group have dogs, so we're going to put a 7 in the tenths place. So what you are seeing here is how you would write 7/10 as a fraction and how you would write 7/10 as a decimal. If you turn the page and go to the visual learning page, you're going to see some other examples of this. So for example, on Kelsey Street, 6 out of the 10 houses have swing sets in their backyards. You can write 6/10 as a fraction. You can write 6/10 as a decimal by putting a 6 in the tenths place. In the next couple lessons, you're going to see our math book represent tenths with diagrams that look like what I just circled. The tenths are going to represent the entire column. Not only are we focusing on tenths, we're also studying hundredths. So for example, on Kelsey Street, 75 out of 100 of the houses are two-story homes. So that's 75 hundredths. You can write that as a fraction, 75 out of 100, or we can also write that as a decimal, and it would look something like this. Not all of the houses, so we put a 0 in the whole number place. And then 75 hundredths, so we write a 7 in the tenths place and 5 in the hundredths place. You will see diagrams looking like this being used to represent the hundredths. So let's take a look at that more closely. You'll notice in this diagram there's 100 little boxes. So if you were to sit and count every single little box that's shaded green, you would get 75 of them. Another way to think about this is that 7/10 or 7 full columns have been shaded, and then just 5 individual hundredths. So that's just another way to think about it. You can look for your tenths being full columns that are shaded, and you can look at your hundredths as how many additional individual blocks have been colored. So as you are working today, you're going to be asked to work on the following problems. On the first page of the lesson, please work on numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. On the second page of the lesson, please work on numbers 7, 8, 11, 13, and 14.